evening, this is News Mongolia. I'm Solong Hort in the MNB World studio. For our top stories, COVID-19, 2,642 cases, a new daily record set on Thursday. Traditional Naadam Festival goes digital. Comprehensive study undertaken on improving the life of rural women. For other news, stay tuned. Today, on Thursday, the National Emergency Commission announced 2,642 COVID-19 cases. It sets another daily record since Monday. On Thursday, after testing around 11,500 people, 2,642 new cases were confirmed. The state's tally has now reached 85,770. The death toll has increased by 11, and the total is now 400 fatalities. Among today's 11 deaths, 9 of them had not received any vaccine. Also, most of them had chronic illnesses. As of today, the overall recovery rate of Mongolia stands at 69%. Among the total patients being hospitalized, 61% show mild symptoms. In the provinces, 908 COVID-19 cases were newly reported today, which is also the highest so far. Currently, 111 zones of 19 provinces are under strict lockdown, and movements both in and out have been stopped. The capital city alone reported the highest number of cases of 1,733. Currently, Mongolia is leading the Asia-Pacific area by its COVID-19 cases per million people. In Mongolia, there are around 1.1 million children aged between 0 and 17. These children are in a high-risk situation since the majority hasn't received any vaccines yet. Since Monday, 16 and 17-year-old teenagers have started receiving the Pfizer vaccine. Today, the health minister, Battur, informed that they have received permission to inoculate children aged between 12 and 15 with the Pfizer vaccine as well. The vaccine rollout for those children will start soon. Also, he noted that herd immunity can be achieved when these children aged between 0 and 17 are fully inoculated, since they cover about 35% of the Mongolian population. The current global tally for COVID-19 cases is around 177 million, with 3.8 million fatalities. Since Sunday, Mongolia has been reporting over 2,000 daily COVID-19 cases. Starting from today, certain businesses are restricted in their operations, but only for a week.
In May 2021, Mongolia lifted its state of emergency and downgraded to the level of enhanced readiness regime. Since then, businesses and organizations, except certain areas, have been serving the public under COVID-19 regulations. In yesterday's meeting, the National Emergency Commission decided to put a weekly restriction on certain businesses starting from today on Thursday. For instance, restaurants and cafes will not be allowed to serve indoor dining, but only serve takeaway and delivery. Tourist camps and resorts will be closed. There were several cases of businesses violating COVID-19 regulations among the dining services, including exceeded number of indoor diners and failure for meeting schedules. Officials believe it contributed towards the surge of coronavirus. Normal operations of those businesses will resume a week from today.
July is the special month for Mongolia's traditional Naadam Festival. This summer, the historical holiday will be celebrated digitally to curb the coronavirus infection.
Only in the capital city of Ulaanbaatar, the games will be organized and broadcast live. There will be no spectators in attendance. Meanwhile, festival gatherings or celebrations are prohibited in other provinces. Initially, the government had allocated a 2.5 billion Mongolian tugrus for the Naadam Festival. Yesterday, the Prime Minister's press agent stated that the budget saved due to the digital celebration will be spent for the pandemic. Last year, the Naadam Festival was celebrated in a simpler format with limited audience in accordance to the pandemic situation. The opening ceremony broadcast through TV and internet. This year, all festival programs will heavily rely on technological advancement once again, however, with no nearby audience.
The National Committee on Gender Equality announced that a comprehensive study was undertaken on improving the life of Mongolian rural women. The study results were introduced today through an online national symposium.
The main topic of the study was improving the livelihoods of rural women who are adapting to climate change. In Mongolia, nomadic animal husbandry occupies 85% of the agricultural sector. But due to climate change, the livelihood of herders have been deteriorating in the past years. A comprehensive survey was done to find out how herder women and rural women in general can improve their quality of life and overcome the impact of climate change with less damage. For the survey, 5 researchers worked in 7 provinces located in the mountain and Gobi regions. 300 herders and farmers were involved in the study.
Herder women still play an important role in generating family income, no less than from other members. Most of the income derives from livestock meat, wool and cashmere, but this income is seasonal. Therefore, it's important for herder women to have a constant source of income through household manufacturing activities and marketing.
On Thursday, the study results were introduced through an online national symposium. The researchers presented various ideas on improving rural women's income using tourism, livestock husbandry, and farming while dealing with climate change. The study showed that herder women have a strong interest in taking classes on horticulture, animal breeding, grain initiatives, handcrafts, and family businesses. The research articles will be published in the journal Gender Studies and will be used for further studies and life practices.
Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Thank you for staying with us on MNB World. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs. Yesterday, on June 16th, Mongolia received 84,240 doses of the Pfizer vaccine through a grant from the government of Japan. It was the first delivery of a total of 2.35 million doses of Pfizer vaccine that will be donated to Mongolia through the Japanese government's COVID-19 aid project. A special ceremony was held for welcoming the vaccine with the presence of relevant officials, including Deputy Prime Minister of Mongolia, Amr Sachen, and the Japanese Ambassador, Hiroyuki Kobayashi. Mongolian director Byamsuren Dawa's film, Ways of the World, started screening in France on June 16th. The film made its world premiere at 2020 Berlin International Film Festival. In that same year, it won Best Picture Award at the Canadian Reel-to-Reel Film Festival. Ways of the World is Byamsuren Dawa's most recent film. She is a Mongolian filmmaker residing in Germany. She has several internationally recognized films, including a 2003 documentary drama, The Story of the Weeping Camel. The film even earned an Oscar nomination for Best Documentary. The film Ways of the World tells the story of a young Mongolian boy, Amra, who grew up in the countryside. His peaceful family life was threatened by global mining companies. Amra longs for a modern way of life, but when his father tragically dies, he fights to protect his community. The film crew consisted of international artists from Mongolia, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Austria, and Lebanon. Starting on June 16th, The Ways of the World is screening in cinemas in France. Bat Zaruk started his running in 2014. By running, he found not only the mental strength, but hopes and dreams, friends and communities.
I saw a man with one leg who was running, so I thought, if he can, why can't I do that? Back then, I was 90 kilograms. I had a big belly. After running 1 year, my weight has been reduced to 70 kilograms. In the beginning, I always wore long-sleeve shirts. Then I got hot and my hands became visible without my noticing. I even started attending competitions. I really loved it. It was nice to challenge myself and run among many people. My first marathon was in New York. I registered for the race through our organization, Achilles International Mongolia. A marathon is 42 kilometers. It gave me a tremendous motivation. I ran for 4 hours and 3 minutes. I was out of breath and I thought I would never run again. But after I reached the finish line, I just fell in love with the marathon. And I started planning my next competition. Since then, I have participated in New York Marathon 5 more times.
Through running, Batsoruk not only overcame his challenging condition, he made many friends. He gives hopes and inspiration to many other disabled people. In 2016, suddenly something went wrong in my brain. Since then, life became hard for me and I lost all hope. Then I met Batsoruk at a hiking club. He gave me inspiration to hike and run. I have attended races of 3, 5, and 10 kilometers and won medals in each. I feel so content about my achievements. Currently, Batsoruk's organization, Achilles International Mongolia, is training around 25 athletes. If the athletes have certain achievements, Achilles International Mongolia sends them to international competitions. The organization aims to erase the gap between normal and disabled people, and tremendous good results have already been achieved. Here comes the weather forecast for the world's major cities. This is it for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.